And talking about moving forward, what cheap teams?
Billy.
We got the Detroit Titans.
Keep it. So we gonna lock that one. The Detroit Titans.
Hey, what's cracking, everybody? It's your player partner, your host with the most, your country cousin, Sir Winnie the Bitch, coming at you with another episode of The Athletic Mentality with my player partners, my brothers, my family. I got my man, Troy Riggins, a.k.a. Big Rig, and we got the OGZ, you know what I'm saying, in that beautiful, beautiful custom jersey right there, bro. It's looking icy.
Nice.
How's the guys doing this week, man? We got Thursday night football. OGZ, that's why OGZ's rocking the jersey, because we have Thursday night football tonight. So how you guys feeling, man? What's up?
Man, doing lovely, doing wonderful. Especially after my team took the L. I thought it was going to be a bad week, but doing good. I got a lot of hope coming in this next week.
Yeah, the Dolphins actually were very close to catching that dub. If they a couple plays would have bounced their way. Talk to me, Jay-Z. What's cracking, baby?
I'm feeling like fire right now, folks.
Yeah.
The long-time division rival Pittsburgh Steelers got a smackdown. And we got a great little dub, I think, coming here this evening on Thursday Night Football. Hopefully we don't cough one up on the early week. But I do think we're enough talent to get that job done. On a personal level, I'm feeling even better. Week 4 done with school. Cash it.
Nice, baby. I like the sound of that. I, as a fan, on the other hand, am not feeling good. 41 net yards as a team with one of the most accurate quarterbacks. It's either our coach doesn't give a fuck or he doesn't give a fuck. I have been on the hashtag Fire Nagy plane ever since we drafted, or ever since the season ended, but ever since we drafted Justin Fields, I've said that I think we should move on. In other news, as a Bears fan, though, we do have the rights to Arlington Park, so in 12 whole years,
I saw that. That was
we'll be able to have a brand new stadium, which brings a Super Bowl to Chicago. All right, so guys, first of all, we appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been showing us on the last podcast, last episode, and the episode before that have been doing great. We appreciate you guys. Let's keep that up. Let's run up the numbers. So this week, we wanted to, and I kind of threw this on the guys probably like 2 hours before the show. So I wanted to know, because there's a conversation amongst people in general, like you can't say zone corner to a quarterback because they feel like they are a man-to-man quarterback no matter what. And then you got, like the dogs and the beasts who are straight up and down, like I'm going to follow the best guy on the field. So I wanted to know from the boys today, who are your top 5 corners? We didn't want to say of all time, but then the time range I gave the guys was like the 80s to now, which is pretty much the Super Bowl era. So that
like
is
our
of
old
all time. Yeah, that's like our old time and our new time. So starting with my man Jeezy. Tell me who your top 5 was, bro.
Personally, I have Ty Law. I got Champ Bailey. I got Rondé Barber. I got Darryl Green. And rounding it off with Neon Sanders.
5 starts with Deion Sanders. I mean, we already know what kind of dog he is, especially when it's a lockdown corner. Yeah. Rod Woodson, Darrelle Revis, Champ Bailey, and Charles Woodson.
All right, so I like both lists. I ain't gonna cap.
I'm waiting for this one.
I love both lists, but I told Troy before we got on, I was like, bro, I think I'm gonna throw a couple names out there that might, you know what I'm saying, that might be clickbait, that might fuck y'all head up real quick. So here we go. My list is Neon Deion, Primetime Sanders. Of course, man, like he's the GOAT. We all understand that. A lot of people might not think of him as that way, but if he played the game, he's a dog. He's a lockdown corner. Don't throw us away. In that same respect, we're going to talk about Revis Island. Same exact thing, bro. No matter what team, besides when they put him in the zone scheme down there in Tampa Bay for that weekend that he was there, he's been pretty much a beast everywhere he's played. Then,
here we go.
On the terms of being a homer, Peanut Tillman, king of the punch-out. I promise you, whatever defensive scheme we ran, and we were mostly like a blitz defense when you played the Bears back in the day when we had Urlacher and those guys. So I've always loved the punch out. I go in like I picked it up when I played football myself. I went in for the punch out. So that's my third. Fourth, Champ Bailey. I just love Champ Bailey's game. He's the OG, and Peyton Manning is one of those guys that says like he made sure like I can't throw it Champ's way. Here's another guy that might fuck y'all head, Antonio Cromartie.
No.
I love me some Antonio Cromartie. When he was paired up next to the greatest cornerback of the greatest lockdown cornerback of this generation, he did not miss a beat.
And I get he was never the weak link.
He was never a weak link. And even in his older, like once he got a little bit older, he wasn't as good, but his agility was still there. He still had change of direction. He could still hop routes. The guy had great hands. I mean, that's my list. And I like
Bro, he's
like
good, but I'll give
like
you
tackles.
That's for top 5 of all time.
I'm going for. I'm not even talking all the time. Like we talked about. I gave
for the
you.
80s. Okay, for the 80s.
From the 80s to the 90s, I started watching football in the 2000s. So for me, my football knowledge, from what I saw, not from when I'm gonna go back and look up, and that's not a lot to what you guys did. The research is research. But from the times that I was watching the game,
I'm old as fuck. What are you talking about?
The hell up. From the times that I watched the game, I definitely see like those are the guys that I try to replicate my game after. And for the people who are probably saying like, "Oh, well, you didn't watch Deion Sanders play." Deion Sanders retired with the Baltimore Ravens or the Washington football team in like 2004, 2005. So shut the fuck up.
I got 2 underdogs, and this is like old school, so I actually had to do some research on this because I really knew nothing about them. I heard their names many times, but Mel Blount and Dick, what they say, Night Train Lane.
Yeah, okay, it's Mel Blount. Mel Blount. All
right, excuse me, thank you for correcting me. Mel Blount. He was basically the reason why they introduced the 5-yard no contact after 5 yards.
He was the first original lockdown corner. He would jam you the entire time.
They would call it the Mel Blount rule. Mm-hmm. So, and then Dick Lane had 14 interceptions in 12 games. Still standing today. Record won't be broken.
All right, so we have a quick recap time. We're going to do a recap of the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Bears. Starting with Troy, what you got?
Man, we stumbled into Las Vegas. It was a beautiful game for the first quarter. First, like 3 minutes, we jumped out to a 14-0 lead. I don't know. We kind of chipped away. I think the breaking point was when we decided to throw a screen pass in our own end zone, and that blew up for a safety, gave the ball back. They came back with a field goal, turnover on downs, came down with a touchdown. All of a sudden, we have ourselves a ball game. Finished up fourth quarter, came back, put 11 points on the board, sent it into overtime, and instead of going for the win, we decided to go for the tie and hope for our defense to take over, and, took the loss. It was a hard-fought game, better than the 35-0 loss that we took against, Buffalo the week before. But, can't get it every week, so we're back at it against the Colts next week.
All right, Jeezy, talk to me about them Bengals and my boy Jamar Chase, who seems to be a bomb-catching machine.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns through 3 weeks, doing just fine. We started off with an efficient gameplay. We're always going to push Joe Mixon. He's going to be the headliner of our offense, but it's opening up the background so much, as you saw in that last heave before the half of Jamar Chase just straight out beating the cornerback. I guess my boy Tyler Boyd just said they didn't want it. They gave up, Yeah. So like he quoted him, So we beat them down to a point where they gave up. I don't necessarily believe that. I just think we were the better football team on that day, especially if Ben Roethlisberger, is aging at the alarming rate that he is with that arm. Yeah. He looked real bad. Okay.
Can I give you guys? Oh, keep on my phone.
As I'll say one more thing. As much as I was gonna say that I thought we dominated, I feel like it was almost as much as a waking up of, wow, Pittsburgh, you do not need to move on. Ben may be done.
I am going to speak on some things about the Bears, but mostly just going to be very negative, saying that we should fire our head coach and get prepared for Eric Bieniemy next year, because that's the only option that we have. Right now, dog, it is embarrassing to see that type of offense. Our run game can't get anywhere. Our throw game can't get anywhere. our defense kept us in that game for so long, but we also gave up 7 fucking sacks. That kid was fucking shell shocked in there, dog. That was like very tough to watch. Again, as a fan, I'm watching this game, and it is very, very hard for me to sit there and be like, every Sunday I can line up for this. I can't wait to watch the Bears. No, put Andy Darnell's back in there and let him get hurt, let him get injured. Then put Nick Foles back in there and let him get hurt, let him get injured. Do not put Justin Fields on the field if this is going to be the type of offensive line and the type of offense that we have planned for him. It didn't even like we have an offense planned at all. It was like just go out there, throw the ball somewhere. Yeah, that's what it.
You hear that key word you said, offensive line? It's not like word of the day last week or something like that. Like offensive line.
And as I was watching the game, bro, I'm not even gonna bullshit you, Josh. And Troy, as I was watching the game, bro, I literally said, I was like, we literally fucking just talked about how the offensive line is so important. And it sounds stupid, but we all know it.
Yeah.
It's like redundant to sound loud, but bro, come on, fuck on. So that's just how I feel. I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything, but it was annoying to watch. That kind of did show up a little bit, but other than that, bro, what the fuck are we doing?
I mean, you're getting sacked for 67 negative yards, and your quarterback threw for 68 yards. You were a net 1 yard throwing the football.
Into week 4. Let us start with the Jacksonville fucking Jaguars going up against our home podcast favorite Cincinnati Bengals. Talk to me, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence is getting a little bit of the Peyton or Manning kind of like high interceptions, but getting a lot of touchdowns as well. I think he's coming into his own, but that defense is not. And I think they're just giving up too much, and then he's putting them in a bad spot, which makes them look bad. So it's a little mix of both.
Giving up that butt.
Yeah, I don't want to put it all on Urban Meyer, but we will.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely we will. Just because first-year coach is always a hard time, especially thinking you can big shot it coming into the league. I think he's going to get smacked around. I don't say this so much about Zach Taylor, but I think he's going to get another conscious W. I think Mixon's going to go for 120 plus. I think Joe doesn't need to do much as he's been doing. He was under 200 yards with 3 TDs and an INT, which scared me last week, to be honest. First or second drive, I can't remember exactly because I put that in the background, whatever. But I think we get a pretty easy win here. Jaguars are making games competitive, but I still think we get 30 on them, 30-17, something like that.
Right. Troy, what you got?
It's actually a lot close to like what I had. I think Lawrence he's slinging around I like the comparison to Peyton, like letting him make his mistakes. He's made some really good throws, and he's also made a lot of rookie mistakes. They just traded away CJ Henderson, first round draft pick, 2 years ago?
3 from Florida,
Actually,
right?
in 2019.
Yeah, I think like a number 10 pick, like top talent. Wish him the best. Where is he going? Where did he head off? Do you guys know? Like Carolina or something like that?
Carolina, actually, yeah.
I think it was Carolina. Wish him the best. I think he's got an immense amount of talent there. So I think getting him out of the state of Florida a little bit, even though it's one state up, might help him out. But I have Cincinnati rolling. I mean, they got to take advantage of the situation. They're playing Jacksonville at home. You can't lose to Jacksonville at home after you just beat Pittsburgh. You have as a little rival. You can't fold under the pressure. I think Chase has another 2 TDs. What I was gonna say, I think Higgins is out again. He's probably gonna be out this next upcoming week. I think he's already kind of been ruled out. I might be a little premature on that, but if he is sitting out, I see Chase taking off. I do see Mixon going over 100. And I agree with Josh. I don't think Burrows has to do much. He just has to not turn the ball over and let his playmakers do what he has to do.
Moving on to the Tennessee Titans versus the New York Jets. Troy, talk to me. What are your interests in this game?
I have none. The Jets are playing. Let's keep it real. They are a mess. They knew that they were going to be a mess. Any Jet fan that thinks that they were not going to be a mess this year they're delusional. I'm sorry. You knew that their offensive line was going to be a mess. You knew that their new coach coming in and was taking over. Just a vomit job that Adam Gase left them, the same freaking job that he left, in Miami. So Wilson is just gonna have to take his lumps. I'm sorry, like none of these games are gonna get any better. Tennessee is a playoff team, potential Super Bowl contender. This defense, man, they just smacked on. Who'd they smack on last week? I don't even know. I know.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
They played
Colts.
Indiana last week.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I watched like highlights of the game and stuff, and like they look like they're getting back to their old run the ball, get the ball to their wide receiver. And even though AJ Brown went out, Julio stepped up, had himself a big game. So I expect the same. This is 30-7.
Yeah, I kind of got it the same way, man. Tennessee Titans, like you said, Julio Jones is kind of getting into his rhythm with the Titans again. AJ, I think he was trying to take a backseat to AJ Brown a lot, give his young bull, the guy that kind of got him there, his shine. Excuse me, with the play action pass that they're going to be able to enact on that New York Jets defense is going to be insane to look at. So, yeah, nothing to talk about here. 30-7. I even think Tennessee might be able to blow out the Jets here, put a 0 bomb on the board. So Tennessee, for sure.
It's interesting to see this game, and I'm just looking at the overall team's ratings. So we have obviously Tennessee, number 3 team in rushing football. I'm sure the Bengals are up there, but no big deal. But Tennessee, for instance, 3rd. Now, defensively, New York Jets haven't been that bad. Maybe they've run the football more, but they're 10th rated overall this season. That's pretty early. I just think it might not be as big of a blowout as we give. I think Tannehill's good enough with his arm, but I think they might have a little bit of a hard time running the football against the Jets just because they have to do something, right? They are an NFL team.
Yeah.
So it's going to force Tannehill to do what he did last week, because we do know that if you do not put fucking 8 people in the box, you know, or whatever it may be to stop that beast Derrick Henry, it's going to be a long night. So I think they try and keep the score low. And I think it's closer to Tennessee, definitely, for sure.
Heading into Philly, KC did not look like the world beaters that we thought they were. Kind of like dropping the ball to the Chargers, even though the referees kind of was giving them a lot of chances to start the game, or at least in the fourth quarter of the game the time that I watched the game, the referees the Chargers seemed to not be able to line up properly, and that's been a thing for them the last 3 weeks. And that made it to where the Chiefs had a chance. They threw an interception. Chargers marched down, score. I think in the middle of the game, I kind of sent you guys a text like, we're talking about this Justin Herbert shit, bro, because this is kind of pissing me off. And that was after me seeing like him not being able to complete a fucking 5 or 10-yard out. And we talked about it like that's an NFL throw. You should be able to complete that. So he has his ups and downs. He did end up getting a win for his team. There's a lot of Herbert stands out there. Who really gives a fuck? I do have KC getting the dub here. Philly just looked like they didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do on Monday Night Football versus the Cowboys, and the Cowboys tore them up. So, there we go. What do you guys got?
Easy.
I think Jalen looked real bad on Monday, and I have him as one of my fantasy teams, and it was hurting to watch that. And I went against him in another league, and he caused me to win because he didn't do anything. And I think it's almost going to be more of the same. I was worried about starting him, but KC's defense is not good. They're ranked 30th in the NFL right now.
Wow.
So that has me really scared for their overall uptick. Now their offense is great, but if you're running the football and taking the ball away from Patrick Mahomes, then you're giving yourself an opportunity. I am one of those Justin Herbert fanboys. And it was, and it's from a complete homer standpoint. I believe if we have any footage of me talking about Herbert, I didn't think he was ready. I thought it was going to be a mistake if we played him too soon, and I had to eat my words, and I'm 100% wrong. The kid is a gamer. Okay, now he does struggle with the basic throw, and it's because of the mechanics. And my friend Bishop has mentioned it numerous times, and I do agree with him. But there's just so much overall talent there. With the wideouts that he has and the arm that he has, and I keep going back to the Jay Cutler type situation. He's got way better weapons than Cutler has ever even dreamed of having.
Yep.
Not to Chi-Town shame here or anything, but I think he's had like even Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and then the running back core that he's had over the last 2 years. So I think this, I don't know, man. I think really what it comes down to is Kansas City is not the world beaters that we think they are because of the defensive side of the ball. And I think Justin Herbert, even his subpar play, like I was mentioning, exploited it. So I think Jalen will have a big day, thankfully, but I think Kansas City beats him, and this is going to be a high scoring game because neither are going to stop each other. Kansas City by 3.
Damn, by 3.
Carolina Panthers heading to Jerry World to play the Dallas Cowboys, who seem to be the real deal. And like I said, I kind of looked into the Dallas Cowboys a lot this offseason. I wanted to know more about the team, not like the hard knock shit, but I wanted to know more about like the NFCs because I did talk a lot of shit about them and I watched it. I was like, why am I hating? Yeah, they're a shitty division, but the Dallas Cowboys seem to be getting something together. And maybe this would have been last year if they would have had the quarterback who I had on my fantasy team, but he got fucked up. Moving forward, doesn't really matter. I do have the Carolina Panthers finally being a team that loses the game. They are a Fugazi 3-0 team, and Dallas kind of like wakes them up, brings them back to reality. Troy?
I'm going to pull the upset on this.
I knew one of us had
close. It's close.
I have to just because, like, this isn't the same Panthers team, and I agree with you. They haven't really played anybody. But this Dallas team, I mean, I know they've been tested, but I don't feel like they played like a defense. And I feel like the Panthers defense right now is doing some big things. Not just fantasy-wise, but just holding opponents. I watched their games, I watched their highlights and stuff, and they're flying all over. I mean, it reminds me back like when they had Luke Kuechly just flying all over. I mean, Shaq Thompson and the linebacking core, the defense, and almost like a bunch of no names or a bunch of people that were good, but they just got cut and they all went to Carolina. I mean, look at Sam Darnold, leading that team. They're going to do it without Christian McCaffrey, but, you got Chuba Hubbard taking it, the rookie. I think he has a lot of talent. So I'm actually going to pull Panthers with the upset in Dallas.
And Royce will be rolling, baby. Go Freeman.
Royce Freeman, too.
No, I think they have depth there. I have the number 1 waiver wire in our Dynasty League, and I thought about taking Hubbard, but when you have the number 1, you kind of just want to sit until someone makes that big mistake, drop somebody that's going to come back or something, so I'm just going to keep sitting.
0-3, I ain't dropping shit.
Hey,
I got my first dub. Dude. Cheers.
Oh, congratulations, bro.
In our league. It was fantastic.
We're 1 for 9 out of all 3 of us.
Yeah, I got it. You guys are both 0 for 3?
I'm 0-3.
Let's go for it, bitch.
I'm turning the page, boys. I don't know what you're saying. I'm turning the page.
I'm a fucking sports podcast, and we're 1 for 9.
1-9. Yeah, but you know what? Join our league and come in here and try to talk shit. Because when you get to our league, it's different.
All right, Josh, sorry.
Still early, man. I got Dallas big, dude. I do think it could be a tweener, but I think Carolina's pretend. I think Dallas is for real. I think they put a good battle against Tampa Bay and came up short. Tampa Bay's been buzzsawing people except that game. I think except the Rams, and I think they're elite, which we talked about that division before. So I'm just kind of starting to put my teams in that type of category, and I still see Dallas just a little bit below, but still right up there in the mix. I have one story about last week with Dallas, though.
Give it to us, baby. Give it to us.
I'm down 19 points to a guy who has Miles Sanders and Devontae Smith. I have Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott. Give it to me, baby.
Dude, Miles Sanders got like 3 carries all game.
Moving on, keeping it in the NFC East, we got them New York Giants going down there to that Bayou boy playing them New Orleans Saints. What do you guys got for me?
Oh, I can make this quick. I can make this easy. This is like
I think we all got it.
This is Saints by a landslide. I can't tell you.
1 second. That's my pick as well, people. So everything Troy's saying, he's speaking permission. Troy?
Giants, I don't know where they need to start. They almost did fire coaches. They just got a coach. They need new personnel. They need new line. You can't have Daniel Jones be your leading rusher. Sorry, you just can't. It's especially when you got Saquon Barkley back there. Jameis Winston coming in, did work last week. Looked good. Kamara, I think, got involved. He doesn't look that good this year. I think a lot of defenses are focusing on him 100%, which isn't his fault. I'm not saying he doesn't have the talent, but his stats aren't really showing. So I think putting a lot of focus on Winston throwing the ball, trying to hit the tight ends, hit the wide receivers, take the ball out of Kamara's hand, because once he touches it, that's a dangerous person to get the ball in his hand. So I still feel like the Saints, their defense, are just going to roll through the Giants. I have like 37-7.
37-7, yeah. The Giants are just kind of a crapshoot right now. I had a buddy in another fantasy league talk about Saquon kind of getting the Todd Gurley treatment. And now it's a little early to be talking like that, but like, is he going to be banged up to a point where he doesn't come back, because we know of the position and we know the field and we know how quick it can go. Like we've talked about, being former athletes, injuries don't always come easily and they don't always recover the same for each individual person. So I think it could be curious with the Thunder Thighs and how he's handling that knee of his. And maybe they're just really worried about that, and maybe I'm wrong, and they're just trying to get him healthy because they're not giving him as many touches because he's talented enough and they don't have anything. Can't get the ball to Kennedy Galladay on a fucking fade route, which is just bread and butter. They just keep giving it to, I don't know, they're just a mess. I'm going to shorten it up and just, say that they're going to lose and it's going to be ugly.
Or we got Cleveland sliding up to that cold tundra in Minnesota, going to the Viking ship up there. I'll go off with this one, man. I think, again, Minnesota will find a way to lose the game. Cleveland is starting to understand their team more, so they're starting to have fun more. They are a team that does have chinks in their armor. You can find that. And Kirk Cousins is a really good zone, like, beating up quarterback, as you saw with the Bears. Excuse me, as you saw last week in the game he played. But I mean, it's an easy pick for me. Cleveland all the way.
I agree. I have Browns defense just kind of taking over the game, just like they kind of took over Chicago. I know it's in Minnesota, but Browns run defense, like, I think that's the real deal. And if Minnesota's going to rely on that run in order to do it, it's not going to work. So the only way they're going to be able to beat them is on the pass. And Cleveland's cornerbacks going against Minnesota's receivers that's going to be the battle of the game. Good on both sides, but whoever wins that battle is going to come out. And I have Browns coming out on that one.
All right, Josh.
I left this one blank because I wanted to see where you guys went. So I'm going to flip and go Minnesota. I am very close on it. I just think Minnesota is starting to figure things out. I think they're decent on both sides of the ball. I think they're coached very well. Dalvin Cook looks uncertain for this week. He didn't play last week and they got a dub. So I think he did limited practice today, or Wednesday, excuse me. So we'll see what happens tonight. And from pushing forward, I just think Minnesota is getting better. I think they play good football teams and just come up a little short. Yeah. So I think they sneak one away here. Now Cleveland is one of those, not elite, but a top tier team. I just need to pull an upset against you two. So
sure. I get that. And talking about moving forward with butt cheek teams, we got the Detroit Titans. Excuse me, fucking shit.
Keep it.
And we're gonna lock that one. The Detroit Titans.
We got the Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions are all three going down to Chi-Town. I'll pick this one up, bro. Again, the Bears are a team that it seems like we don't really have an identity offensively, in our defense still searching for themselves. Detroit kind of pushed the team to a limit last week. Baltimore to a limit. If it wasn't for a 66 yard record-setting field goal by Justin Tucker, one of the greatest out there. We're talking about Detroit having their first win of the season. They're 1-2. So I wrote down Chicago because I'm a homer. I'm gonna give it to Chicago until later
You
notice.
have
but
to. You can't.
yeah, I
go
can't go Detroit, man. Chicago all day. Let's go. Who you got? Josh?
I squared Chicago. I hope
All right.
Andy makes a return. The Matt Nagy's offense returns. I honestly think David Montgomery comes back to form. I'm able to have him in the flex in one of my 8-man team leagues. So I think I need to run him, and I think it's going to be a field goal type situation again. But I think Chicago, Robbie Gould's on the positive side of that. Still their kicker, right?
Yeah.
Fact check.
We got Carlos Santos.
Oh, Robbie Gould, where's he at?
Santos is the beast.
Robbie
Gould's
Gould's
out the
in
league, I
San
think.
Fran, I think.
Yeah, San Fran.
Oh yeah, you're right. I saw that.
He wants to come back to Chicago, but
Don't hate me because I don't keep up with the fucking kickers. Sorry for the brand.
Hey, sorry, I'm a special team dude.
Sorry.
I'm holding it down for the kickers. I'm actually taking the upset. I know Chicago's 5-1 in the Matt Nagy era against Detroit, but this year, I don't know. It just looks a lot different. I don't know what you guys have coming in at QB. I think you have Fields, but I don't know if you do. O-line looks suspect. Detroit Lions, their line doesn't look suspect at all. It looks like maybe out of place, but even though they're out of place, they're still rocking and rolling. I think Goff is a better QB on the field during this game, whoever's going to step on the field. I wouldn't say they have better wide receivers, but I think the wide receivers are very complimentary to Goff. They don't need a big guy, big name out there. He just needs a system. So I feel like the Lions are going to win this one. They're going to run it over, and I got the Lions on the W.
real quick, guys, we got Houston versus Buffalo. Again, I'm gonna start this one off. I'm pretty sure this is like unanimous. Buffalo all day, every day. Anybody has anything detailed to say about this game?
Hated it.
Hated it.
Other than, yes, fucking send it, dude. Bill Mafia.
Indianapolis being 0-3 heading down to the Yayo versus a team that we just previously talked about being a team who is going to figure itself out this past week. Hopefully they'll have a good game plan moving forward. Troy, start us off with this shit, dog. I think that your Miami Dolphins are going to catch the dub. That's my prediction.
Josh, I see it in your face right now. Don't you dare do it. Don't you
Colts.
even think about doing it.
Colts,
You're so
baby.
full of shit.
I have it written down, dude.
Carson Wentz looks slow.
He has two fucking sprained ankles.
Exactly.
How you picking that quarterback, dude?
He's not 100%. I don't care. I'll take Brissett right now. We got Wentz going against our defense. He's not going to be able to throw to the receivers. That's going to be on lockdown. Jalen Phillips last week starting to get some pass rush. Pass rush. We need to get a little pass rush on this. If you can utilize or understand that when they run their little play action or whatever, they're giving it to the running back. Light his ass up. They're not going to run play action and bootleg Wentz on anything like they used to in Philly when he was healthy. He's still recovering. He's still hobbling around. Watch the highlights from last game. I have Dolphins winning this game. Big time.
I believe the Indianapolis Colts are going to get the W because I have to go against Troy because he's a Miami Dolphin fan.
You already know. Fins up.
And I am trying to get a leg up on the predictions. And I think this is closer to a pick 'em because of both the quarterbacks, one being hobbled and one being a backup. That is it, boys. Other than that, I think Miami's defense is better, but I think we got some really good running backs in Indianapolis. Run the fucking football. 13-7 Indy. Let's go.
13-7?
Garbaggio. Get the fuck off my screen. Garbaggio. All right, so we got another morning game. We got the Washington football team going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Troy, what do you got with this game, boss?
I have a total redemption game from the Washington football team. I'm still mad that they haven't picked out a damn name. Mascot, I hate rooting for them when I don't even know what the fuck they are. Give me something.
WFT, baby.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
That's what you're getting. WF fucking T. No, it's dog shit. It's dog shit. I completely agree.
Their defense, I do think, got exposed by Buffalo, who's going to be exposing a lot of defenses. I don't know, they're built differently. But I feel like their defense is really going to bounce back. I don't think the Falcons, even though they took Tampa to the brink for whatever lucky ass reason that was, but I don't feel like they can really hang with a defensive team like this. I got the Washington football team upsetting, if you want to say it's an upset, on the road, beating Atlanta. Pretty easy for me.
Yeah, I got to go Dirty Birds here. I just think their defense is rounding out fine. I think the quarterback play is better here in their favor. I do think Washington's football team on paper is better for defensively, but throughout the scheme and throughout the year, we have them rated as 31st, like one of the worst defenses in the football to start the season. So I just definitely.
Where's Atlanta on that list?
19th.
Not bad, mid-pack.
I'm just here. I'm just looking at numbers, boys, and I'm just here to give you my honest assessment. I think some of these games are tight. Like we were mentioning off air, that it's tough to bet on these games until after week 5. Honestly, I know of a collective group, we might start bringing some of those betting type games or games that we like. This is not a game that I like.
No, and I can agree with you on that.
So I'm going ATL.
My fault. And I think with your point with Atlanta being ranked 19th in the league and Washington football team being 31st defensively, like honestly, I just wrote down ATL just because, like, looking at the Washington football team offensively, they're still searching. Defensively, it's been kind of like an up and down thing. Does Chase Young actually have like the moves like Jagger to get off the line? I don't really think so. At least at this point, he adds like a nice bull rush. He gets like a better club spin and like fake. He might be able to get some shit popping, at least in my personal opinion. But right now, I haven't seen much from him. Like the game breaker I thought he was going to be coming into the season. So with that, ATL all day, and it's not like a thing that I care to actually root for. It's like, yeah, ATL. It's more like I gotta fucking pick a team, fucking Atlanta for the dub.
I like the weapons. I like the weapons.
Their weapons versus that defense. You can't go wrong. Calvin Ridley's really good, and then Kyle Pitts kind of showed that he was what he was built up to be. Yeah, he's starting to play like what he's built up to be. Seattle Seahawks going to their rival San Francisco 49ers. Josh, this is kind of like a hometown team for you versus the 49ers. What have you got for us?
Honestly, it's pretty tough for me because now that I'm moving down here in Southern Oregon, I got a bunch of 49er fans that I work with and all this blah, blah, blah. And I'm not like super hyped. I like the Trey Lance edition. I think that'll be cool for the future. Lived in Seattle for a little bit. A lot of Seattle stuff. I got a Seattle hat. I still rep them pretty hard. But at the end of the day, I got San Francisco winning this football game. I just think Seattle's at the bottom of this division that's really loaded. I think San Francisco is back to cylinders like they were a couple of years ago, just really piping and getting things going. I think both sides of the football are fantastic. George Kittle came to play. Now he did get Aaron, so Rodgers should get him, but I mean, you can't hold that against them. And I think San Francisco just has too much against the depleted Seattle Seahawks roster in general. Tyler Lockett going out last week, who was their huge fucking play. I think he had almost 4 touchdowns, maybe just 3
big
weeks.
Plays.
And he was just left and right, and he's the guy, and DK's just not doing it yet. Now I think they're going to have to force feed him the ball, and I think that's not going to work out with what we got for Tart and other of the DBs that we have in 49ers. And I got San Francisco probably by, 10 points.
Troy?
I actually agree with everything he said, except I'm still going to take Seattle. Because I'm pulling an OG, and I'm going to separate it here and get the victory here. I'm also pulling for Russell Wilson going 15-4 against San Francisco in his last 19 starts. So, I mean, it's the most wins against any opponent. For some reason, against San Francisco, he does work. I don't care what Seattle team, where their record is, what's going on, what flaws they have. He does work against his division. I mean, it's just the division teams there. So even though I do think 49ers are probably going to pull this out, I'm still rooting for Seahawks to pull this one. So I'm going to go Seahawks with the dub.
I had the Seahawks as well. The 49ers defense hasn't been doing too much for me in the way of, like, again, what I thought coming into the season 3 weeks ago, we kind of had our preview game, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what the 49ers defense does. It's not living up to what I thought as a not even a fan, but as a football fan in general. That defense has a lot of good names on it. The back end is a question, and it's always been a question for the 49ers. So that's why I have the Seahawks getting this dub. DK Metcalf will turn it around. They're going to kind of force feed the ball. We talked about Chris Carson's preseason, about how, like, you don't need to believe those workout video hypes, but he seems to be a guy who those workout videos are kind of like translating to the football field, because he's carrying guys 5-6 extra yards. He's busting through holes. He's getting some good runs. So I like the Seahawks in this game for sure.
Would it be safe to say that you both are just leaning towards the better quarterback play if it's a head, like a flip of a
for sure
game?
Yeah. If I have to put my money on it, unless Trey Lance comes in and he might inject some youth and some craziness into the offense, and the defense doesn't know because they haven't game plan for it. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Jimmy Garoppolo making more mistakes than the Seahawks defense, or excuse me, the Seahawks will allow Russell Wilson to make. All right, so we have Arizona going to the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams are looking like absolute fucking beasts. And I want to get single camera on this, but I'm not going to because that's way too arrogant of myself. But I want to apologize as of early. And I'll talk to my homeboy Gritty, who works for the Pat McAfee show. That is a shameless plug. And we talked about this, and I wanted to make sure, because I told him I was going to say this on air. I asked him a simple question. How did you feel about, where you at, bro? Where you at, Gritty? It's like, how do you feel about your team at this exact moment? Coming off the win, because this was like the end of the fourth quarter of last week. And he was like, Super Bowl, nothing else matters right now to us. And I was like, you thought that preseason? Yes. And I was like, all right, well, those guys look like they're running the table. And he was like, it's a lot of football left, but at this exact moment, I think our team is fit and built to at least get to a football or to the NFL Super Bowl. And I think the same exact thing, man. So I do have the Rams winning this game. Arizona's a great team. They got a lot to offer, but I don't see Kyler Murray and that, like, wishful thinking offense doing much that Tampa Bay couldn't do versus that team.
I mean, you got 2 3-0 teams. Somebody's coming out of here with a loss, and it's not going to be the Rams.
Not at all.
Defense wins championships. Right now, they look like the best team in the NFL today. Like, it's not even close to me right now. They beat Tampa Bay pretty handedly. I think it was like 34-17. I get Kyler Murray is a unique talent. He's going to be running for his life, but I think the defense that they have in LA, I mean, defense wins championships, but the offense that they have is going to carry him over the top.
Josh,
go ahead.
Arizona Cardinals. I had it marked down before, not flipping it. This is what I wanted. Yes, I think LA Rams are elite. I think it's the best division in football. I think the upset is right now. Okay, right now. And I do think it's because of the defense. It's underrated in Arizona. They're 11th so far in the season. Now, LA Rams have been, blowing people out, so the defense is what it is. They're just rated a little bit better. I think the offense is too powerful. They haven't seen something like it. The dynamic ability of Kyler Murray. I think it's going to be one of the best football games to date. Yeah. Not even of the week, probably just period. Because we do get the 3-0 factor, and in the division rival.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be really high scoring, and I really think that Arizona just nudges them out.
Steelers coming off of a loss versus the Green Bay Packers coming off of a Matt Crosby game-winning field goal. I have picked the Green Bay Packers because they're going to continue to roll. I don't believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Josh, this is your division. Talk to me. What you got?
Green Bay big. Not even a question. We talked about Ben being just fucking washed. And I think that's more of what we're going to see here. Green Bay is rolling. They're only going to get better as they forget that they're not playing preseason games, obviously week 1, and they're going to continue to be better. I think with the healthy Devontae, and I think Aaron Jones is still full tilt, they're going to be unstoppable. We watched what Jamar Chase and Joe did last week. I think Aaron has a big day with Devontae, not as nail-biting as they had this last week. They win easily.
Man, I want to go against it, but yeah, at the same time, this is going to be the Packers all the way. Roethlisberger, yeah, definitely old, beat up. I saw a picture of him where he had like 6 ice bags, like on his knees, on his shoulders, his elbows, his hip. Like, I mean, he might as well just went and sat in the ice bath. Like, it doesn't look good. I think Najee Harris has a breakout game, but any team coming off of a loss to the Cincinnati Bengals is just going to kind of keep tinkering down on that road.
What?
I'm joking.
What?
Hey, the disrespect is heavy, dog.
Yeah.
They got a better record than your team, cuz.
Got the same record. No, I'm saying that I'm saying basically the Steelers, it's a division game. You know, they're gonna, if the way that they got beat against Cincinnati, they did look like they gave up. So I just think them rolling into this next game is not going to be healthy for them. They're just going to keep going downhill. So I have Packers probably.
Yeah, potentially a better
touchdowns.
team than Cincinnati. I don't disagree with you in Green Bay. We all picked them to win the Super Bowl. So I think you're right on the nail there, dude.
Baltimore Ravens and that somewhat rolling offense going into the Mile High, which is notoriously known to be a hard place to play by any player who's played there. And that team that seems to be figuring themselves out week by week. Also, while we're talking about Vic Fangio as the head coach, or at least the team that he coaches, he brought up the fact that he talked to Urban Meyer one time, and Urban Meyer's exact words were, the NFL is kind of hard to coach in, huh? It's like playing Alabama every week.
Yep.
So with that being said, I do have the Baltimore Ravens winning. I don't think that I wrote down the Baltimore Ravens, but I'm changing that pick to the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos are actually going to have a meaningful game.
Wow.
I think that they're moving and they're building on all cylinders. That defense for me is it. It's the defense for me, and the offense seems to understand what they're good at and what they're not good at. So that also plays a huge part into it.
I'll jump on this one real quick because I'm going to let Oj finish it up and go with his Ravens, but I'm going to pick the Broncos too because I got Teddy Bridgewater. I'm believing on the ride. He's taking the team. He basically is given opportunity. He's got a strong defense. He's got adequate wide receivers to throw to. They got a decent running game. They're looking like a complete team all around. Do I think they're an elite team? No, but as a complete team, I think at home, that is an advantage. So I think they can beat Baltimore, and I have them upsetting Baltimore at home.
Jeez,
get it?
No fucking way, dude. The bar is too good of a football player. I don't care where you're fucking playing. You can play in the Sahara. You can be playing in the Alps. It doesn't matter. The dude is gonna win football games.
Except last week.
Okay,
he didn't win you a football game last week. He got you position to, but he didn't win you that game. And that was Detroit, my nigga.
Detroit, don't sleep on them, dude. We're eating kneecaps down there, okay? Don't forget. We're not
I'm fucking sound sick down there.
We're not on that shit. Okay? The numbers are real tight, okay? I've been referencing them all day, okay?
Josh turned into a fucking analytics major.
Number
bro. What the fuck
two.
are we doing here? Athletic mentality, bro. Athletic mentality, not number mentality.
Number 2 defense, bro. Denver, I'm trying to give you a shout out. But I think the number 1 rushing attack is just going to be too much, and it's not pretend. I don't care who they have running the football there, because Lamar, I know. I'm just saying, Lamar is what is happening. And he is the reason that engine is ticking, and it's going to continue to tick. And they're going to give Denver their first loss.
So I get that. Tampa Bay.
Shots are fired, though.
Oh, yeah. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New England Patriots. We all kind of had this game as a dub for Tampa Bay coming into the season. But it's kind of difficult to look at it from last week. I mean, I'm not difficult. I'm going to say that with the loss that Tom Brady and that team took last week, with the addition of Richard Sherman, who will be available to play this Sunday, yeah, man, it's New England, or it's Tampa Bay out there. New England doesn't hold a candle.
So I was listening to Pat McAfee's show, and somebody, I forgot who it was commenting, what's Tom Brady's record after a loss?
Boston Connor probably was talking about it, but he doesn't lose many after he's
like 180 and like 1 or something like
he's
that.
He's one of the only players who's not lost back to back.
So, I mean, I understand Belichick knows Brady's weaknesses, but Brady knows Belichick's weaknesses. He knows exactly what defense is coming to him. He knows exactly what style he's going to try to cater to. So, I mean, this is laughable, but I mean, Buccaneers all day. Like, it just, I don't even think he's going to be close.
He is not doing shit, all right, for the defense on game day. He's going to be with his surface, sitting on the sidelines, just being a selfish son of a bitch.
And so
that's what gets you fucking championships.
And why do you feel that way, sir?
Because he's a fucking baller. Tampa Bay, big. Bill, get out of town.
I get that, but I want to go back to, you said Tom Brady is not going to help that defense that he has at all. You don't think this entire week he's prepared the defense on
I meant game day.
cues?
Game day.
I understand game day. No, he's not going to be doing shit for the defense game day, but you don't think throughout this week of preparation he's queued up that defense to know exactly what me and Troy talked about? Like, this is what's going to happen with this team. This is what's going to happen with that. Like, you don't think that he's queued that up for them?
Yes, because him and Bruce Arians are buddy.
Monday night football. The Las Vegas Raiders, who are playing exceptionally well for a team that I did not think would, is coming into its own versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm done. Go for it.
No numbers, no nothing. John Gruden knows how to play football. I think he fucks up with Herbert's flow. I think he puts him in bad positions. I think the defense of Vegas gets a couple turnovers because Herbert holds the ball too much and he's a little errant on easy throws, like we were talking about earlier. I think Vegas exploits and continues to roll. I think it is a close game, but I honestly think they win by at least a touchdown.
I agree with that, spot on. That's literally like everything I was going to say. I think they're going to go after Herbert. I think they're going to exploit him. I think Vegas rolls. I do think they escaped with the victory last week, and I think they'll learn from that and knowing that you can't give up an early lead and expect to come back because it just doesn't. 14 points, you're almost at a Madden skunk at that point. You know, and to give up a fourth quarter lead where you're up 11 points, can't do that again. So I think on those two things where they're going to learn, if they can play 4 quarters of football, I got Vegas on this one.
Yeah, and that was my thing as well, bro. Las Vegas, they're going to understand and go back and look at the film and kind of prepare properly for this game. I didn't like the hire of John Gruden to start, but now I kind of do. I enjoy it to see him back in football, back being happy. Also, same thing with Derek Carr. I thought Derek Carr was going to be just like a very mediocre, I would say wealthy man, but a rich man's Matthew Stafford is kind of what I pegged Derek Carr. And it's kind of like the same thing with Matthew Stafford. Derek Carr's career seems to be taking